In the push to get more Americans vaccinated, the Defense Department will require all active duty U.S. service members to get the shot. The shot.
What is up, guys? My name is DwkVideos. I make military content, put it on the internet for you to enjoy if you want. My social media links are in the description down below. Now, there is no one on YouTube better to give you this information than Big Daddy Don. All right, come suckle from Daddy's teat, and I will tell you everything you need to know about you getting mandatory vaccinated while in the military. If you've been on any of these meme websites, people are extremely torn on either side of the fence, right? And I'm here to tell you, this isn't a propaganda video. Just like how before, when I say, hey, I joined the military and I like my experience, some people take that on the internet of, I'm trying to recruit their children into going into war. And lady, let me tell you what, I don't care about your child, all right? Your son, I don't give a fuck. But I just wanted to put that out there of, I'm not trying to persuade you either way. We're just gonna talk about it. So on August 9th, a memorandum to the Department of Defense got released. We're gonna go over it really quick. Memorandum for all Department of Defense employees. Message to the force. As many of you know, President Biden asked me to consider how and when we might add the coronavirus vaccine to the list of those required for all service members. Over the last week, I consulted closely with the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, secretaries of military departments, service chiefs, and medical professionals. Forgot to add DwkVideos on YouTube. It's whatever. I didn't need the shout out. I appreciate greatly the advice and counsel they provided. Based on the consultations and additional discussions with the leaders of the White House COVID task force, I want you to know that I will seek the president's approval to make the vaccines mandatory no later than mid-September or immediately upon the U.S. Food and Drug Agency licensure, whichever comes first. If you want to read it entirely, pause the video. And regardless of how you personally feel on the matter, the data so far shows that this is a positive thing. If you are currently in the military, you're an able-bodied person. You most likely do not fall in the category of immunosuppressed, and it would benefit the greater than just yourself if you were to get vaccinated, and ideally the infection rates would lower and we would go from HB-Con Charlie to HB-Con Bravo. If you guys don't know what that is, each base or region has a health protection level, right? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, whatever. The closer to A you get, the more relaxed it is. Charlie, you're not even allowed to like go out in town, go to restaurants or any of that shit. Bravo, you can go out of town and restaurants if you're vaccinated. Alpha is like pretty much normal, right? And so far, the vaccines have proved effective. Now, a lot of people are on the fence about it because it's not FDA approved, it's just for emergency use. However, in the military, when we started giving anthrax, same thing. And the people who said no to anthrax went down the, judicial route of eventually probably getting separated. I mean, I'm sure not everyone did. However, that's normally what happens if something's mandated by the military. Because when you join the military, you become part of the military. Military doesn't become part of you. I know that sounds super cliche. Oh my God, I just sounded like a fucking recruiter. But you guys get the picture. Like, they're not gonna bend for you, you're gonna bend for the military. So if they have literal experts in this field proving that it is safe for you to take it and you are not taking it, and they are showing you why you not taking it is negatively affecting the greater mass of the military, they can move towards administratively separating you, which you guys can read the Milpers, man, of like waivers for vaccines. And I myself, right, I'm an FMF corpsman. I've given literally over 20,000 plus vaccines. I'm not even making that up. I worked in a vaccine clinic. I have every single vaccine you could think of: smallpox, polio, MMR, Tdap, typhoid, meningococcal, Japanese encephalitis, all the heps, adenovirus, probably some other shit I'm not even thinking, and COVID itself. I'm double vaccinated. I got that shit as soon as it came out. They gave me a limited edition serial barcode tattoo on my arm. I mean, I got nothing but happiness. Someone's gonna pause the video right there. I knew it, we're cogs in the machine. It is natural for every human to have worries about something new. However, it is so funny seeing people that are so at the other end of that, where they think they're being tracked by the government. Like, they're putting tracking chips in us. It's like, bro, you're homeless. Like, they don't care what you're doing, dog. But the whole point of it becoming mandatory, the force protection levels and all, is for deployability. So let's say in the hypothetical, if statistically it's proven, if everyone on the ship is double vaccinated, fully vaccinated for COVID, you are extremely less likely to get COVID, right? Now, if one of your heavy hitters, someone who's very important for operational duties, is not vaccinated, they go out in port or whatever while you're on deployment. If you guys never deployed in the Navy, you stop in certain countries, right? You stop in like some third world ass countries. Bro, I should have gotten tetanus in Thailand just from walking. But that's besides the point, right? You go out, you get COVID, you bring it back to the ship. Now you have COVID indoors, and everyone at this point is going, but if I got the vaccine, I should be immune. And it's like, you're not immune. You're less likely to get it. Bro, just like the flu. If you guys get your flu vaccine, right, you can still get the flu. There's hundreds of different types of flus. Each year, the CDC comes together and they protect against the 4 flus they think are gonna hit the area. That's why they call it a quadrivalent vaccine. You're way less likely to get those flus, but you can still get them. And now that it's on the ship, now that even though everyone's immunity is raised, because they're living with it, right? You're potentially affecting the whole ship. So what does that mean? If you're not vaccinated and it's a deployment required vaccine, you gap a billet, right? Whether you get kicked out, NJP'd, whatever, they send you to shore duty, that's besides the point. You just gapped your billet on your ship. I believe 75% of the military have 1 dose of their vaccine, and like 50% are completely immunized. So if everyone who wasn't completely immunized, like got kicked out tomorrow because they, I don't know, wanted to doubt the literal professionals in this field, telling them that it's safe, our military would be half-manned. It would be half-manned. That's like someone who has latent tuberculosis, right? Because they just grew up in a third world country and then they didn't want to take the prevention medications, and they're like, but you can still put me on the ship. And it's like, well, no, because you could get, you know, like TB easier than other people. Same thing as someone who didn't want to get fucking vaccinated against polio or, you know, measles, mumps, rubella. Bro, other countries, measles are still a thing. We eradicated it in the US until a bunch of Karen moms didn't want to vaccinate their kids, and it ended up at an elementary school in Minnesota. But this is America, so no one's realistically gonna make you get the vaccine. It's gonna be a choice. There are repercussions for choices, but it's still a choice, right? Yeehaw, America. If you guys go to Milpersman 1700/020, definitely knew that, ready for advancement. It's the immunizations exemptions for religious beliefs. Now, is this gonna be extremely abused? I'm sure of it. However, getting auto-waived isn't a thing. You have to really prove it. You normally have to get a letter from a head serviceman at that religious belief. So if you're like going Christianity, you would need a chaplain out in town to write a full ass letter that we can route to BUMED, right, and the Department of Defense, saying this member cannot get this vaccine because it's against these religious beliefs and why. And does that immediately waive it? No, because it's your right to practice religious beliefs, but it's also the military's right to deny you for not having a vaccine. Really, so it's a weird gap. Do they have to approve you? No, but I mean, you could route a thingy if you want to, I guess. In Milpersman, it says service members whose waivers have been disapproved or those who refuse to take immunizations without approved waivers may be subject to administrative or disciplinary actions as deemed appropriate by COs for violation under a lawful order. Actions include formal counseling and warning recorded on NAVPERS 1070/16. So page 13, and then you still have to get the vaccine. NJP or court martial, which will still end in you having to get the vaccine. It's just they're gonna do that first and then give you another opportunity. And then eventually towards the end, processing for administrative separation. Now, is this gonna be an immediate thing for COVID? No, man, like the military would lose half their force overnight. Well, not half, probably, I don't know, what, is there like 20% of you guys who like refuse to take it after it becomes an actual instruction? We'll guess, like 20% of you guys say no. They're not gonna kick you guys all out at once. We'll just gap the whole fleet. I'm assuming they'll up the manning in recruiting quotas for certain things and replace the people that are gonna get gapped at the end of their contract. And ideally, once everyone's vaccinated, because the infection rates statistically are proven to go down, the more people in a population you have vaccinated, we're probably not gonna have to wear masks anymore. I know it fluctuated back and forth, but when you're in HBCon Bravo, when you're off DoD facilities, you don't have to wear a mask for double vaccinated people. If we can keep the infection rate extremely low by getting vaccinated, it eventually moves towards everything going back to normal. Now, of course, there's different strains for different vaccines, and that's why there's like 1,000,000,001 fucking flus, and they can vaccinate against all the different flus. But if we can get everyone vaccinated enough quickly, Delta variants wouldn't be as much of a problem because the disease itself didn't have time to mutate because we didn't have that many cases. It just became rampant because we didn't have an answer for it for so long. Besides buying out all the toilet paper, even though the toilet paper is made in the USA and we wouldn't run out, manufactured here. It's just annoying to wait for the shipment to come in because Karen needed 1,001 toilet papers. Now, am I Karen because I bought toilet paper on sale? No, I saved $1. I have like 1,000 rolls in there. Also, I have a toilet paper kink. Nothing gets me off more than wiping my own ass on camera, on live streams, on my second channel, youtube.com/DwkVideos and Donnie WK. I'll see you guys there. I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys part of the people who are already vaccinated? Do you plan on getting it after they make it mandatory because you just don't care? Or are you completely against it and you're willing to get kicked out over the idea? It is gonna be cool though for people that are stuck on shore duty right now, and the people who deny the vaccine on sea duty will probably get rotated out while they're waiting for like any sort of administrative separation. So then people on shore duty who are double vaxxed can go fill those billets. So if you're in like a shitty shore duty right now, man, you might have a chance of just going out to sea and doing some cool stuff. You're trying to make my baby a war machine! Ah!